Hey everybody, going to give you another quick overview of the Backtest IDE. To start off with, we can now select the horizon or the holding period of the strategy. We can also add data via Quandl from Google, Yahoo, CBOE. First of all, I'm just going to put in the Quandl key so we don't get cut off. So we can add the data by just clicking the add hyperlinks. That's downloading the data from Quandl, all the latest data and all the history. Plus it cleans all the data as well. So you have matching dates and all that good stuff, which is hard to do in Excel. And then thirdly, we can code our strategy in the browser. So this strategy looks at the latest returns of the skew CBOE index. It basically takes a monthly sampling of that index, going back every month. Then it filters all the monthly sample by the previous two, well, the current date plus one previous date. And then it takes the return of those two data points, and that becomes just like a normal array, and then it gives you the 0th index of that array. So the array only has one return in it because we only took two prices. Then it takes whatever result it gets and it says if the skew change has been negative, that means basically your left tail is of the S&P 500 skew index is getting smaller. So if it's negative, it's generally a good indicator. So negative by negative here is a positive. So that means that we'll weight the S&P 500, which is this ticker here in Yahoo, positively, and then vice versa with the when the skew index increases, and that means that basically the left tail of the S&P 500 is becoming greater. That means that there's a greater chance of a crash. So basically we're trying to avoid situation where we have huge losses. So let me just click backtest here, and here we have the result. So Sharpe ratio, standard deviation, skew of the strategy itself. So that's the basics of the Backtest IDE. Now let's take a quick look at another strategy. So I was thinking about doing the Meb Faber-esque timing strategy again because it seems to be quite popular. Maybe I just keep on nattering on about it all the time. So let's start pulling in data. So this is the S&P 500 ETF, and the EFA is the EAFE International Equity Index. So we'll add gold as well. We shall also add the bond index, Barclays Ag. Last of all, we'll add B&Q, the real estate index. Let's take some time to pull these things in. So we've added all of the 5 ETFs. So it takes all the data where each ETF has a price. So this will go back about 8 or 9 years. I think it's limited by the ETF with the least history, could be the real estate index. And then we code up a strategy. So let's have a look. If we hold on, let's see here. So use this as a basis. So what we want to do is, let's say call it D, and we shall say the first one. So Data are our inputs. It's important to remember. So, okay, so we're pulling the S&P 500, we're sampling monthly, look back is 10 months or 200 days, and then we turn it into returns, turn that into prices because it's a technical analysis thingamajig. I don't believe it in myself, but a lot of people do. And then we'll do an if then again. So if put in our JStat library, if the mean of the last 10 monthly prices is less than the current price, then we shall return weight dot amex underscore spy equals 0.2. So we're going to weight the S&P 500 for the next period, whatever happens in the next period, by 0.2, right? So then we just repeat that for every other one. Oops. Let's don't have to declare the variable again. Okay, just doing this first just to get everything ready. So as you suspect, it's just normal JavaScript, so you can basically use loops or anything you want, but this is just a bit more self-explanatory. See what's actually happening. So just going to do the same logic for each and every asset. GLD, AGG, B and Q, AGG, AGG, and lastly B and Q, B and Q, and finally B and Q. Alright, so if that works, then we should be able to hit backtest and see the result. So hit backtest. There we have it. There's the result. So hopefully you have some better idea of how the Backtest IDE works, how the API works, and how much easier it is than your average spreadsheet.